Hello, welcome to another Becoming a Modern Man. We are playing Pitch Blue by Conley Woods, and our opponent is on Shadow Zoo, I guess is what I'm calling it. Basically like super aggressive Death Shadow, Monastery Swift Spear, Wild Nicottle potentially. It's like super aggressive. I guess we'd call it suicide, but I feel like that's not a good name, really. So yeah, opponent cycles a load of Street Race, goes down to 11 life, 3 Street Race and a Mishra's Bauble. It's kind of insane. Then they are going to Fort Caesars, taking our Spell Pierce. Draw Lawbroker, which isn't very exciting. To be honest, our hand isn't great in general. We could have countered the Thoughtseize by exiling a Spell Pierce to Disrupting Shoal, but that means we lose 2 cards, which seems significantly worse than losing 1. We can also commandeer this Traverse the Ovenwald if we wanted to, but it comes at such a great cost that I just didn't think it was worth it. But yeah, that is going to find our opponent a Death Shadow, which is now going to come down as a big 6/6, so maybe we should have done something about the Traverse, but it just seems like, how do we win from there? I'm going to play Lawbroker here on the basis that I don't think our opponent's going to be able to just kill us here. If they have Team of Battle Rage, I suppose we've got a bit of a problem. So opponent Thoughtseizes, I'm going to commandeer the Thoughtseize and then redirect it at them. But it turns out they do have Team of Battle Rage, which they're going to cast in response, which does cause us a bit of a problem. So we're going to go down to 18. We're going to have to block with our Lawbroker to stay alive. Opponent has a Swift Spear, which we're going to be able to put in the bin. But we are going to then get attacked for 18. So we're going to have to block with the Lawbroker. Our Spell Snare, which isn't going to do us a lot of good in this matchup. And we can bounce Death Shadow and survive 1 more turn, but then the Death Shadow comes back. Border Post is not going to do anything for us, and yes, we are very rapidly dead. Unfortunately, opponent had a very quick start, and there wasn't really a whole lot we could do about it with his deck. Our hand wasn't great either, but I suppose we had Commandeer, which did give us some opportunity to interact with them. But yeah, ultimately just way too fast for us. Okay, so in terms of sideboarding for this matchup, Spell Snare is not very good because pretty much everything they do is 1 mana for the most part. It's more of a Chalice of the Void kind of matchup, I guess, but that's not something that we're currently running in our sideboard. So what do we want? I think we want Blast Zone because everything is 1 CMC. It is a little bit slow, but ultimately, if we can sort of bounce their creatures and slow them down a bit, then Blast Zone is going to be fairly decent. Damnation is a little slow, but I guess, again, we probably just need to clear their board as much and as many times as possible. And then Tyrant Scorn is kind of in a similar spot. Can kill most of their creatures, so that seems like a good card to bring in. I suppose we want to bring in Relics as well, maybe. There's a good chance they're running Gurmag Angler or some sort of delved creature, I guess, to go with their Street Race, so there's a reasonable chance that that's a thing. We might even want to bring in the extra Commandeers. I don't love it, though, because they've got so many creatures that... but obviously taking something that's going to kill us or deal us a lot of damage, like a Team of Battle Rage, is going to be handy. Although I think we still need the creature to target it with, so yeah, I think that's possibly a bit loose, but it might be better than some of the other options we've got available to us. Engulf seems not great as well, so maybe we bring in Damnation over Engulf. Although, yeah, ultimately we just need to answer their creatures and stay alive, which is going to be easier said than done, I think. Okay, so here's our opening hand. Yeah, it's not bad actually. We've got the Vapor Snag into Remand potentially, Disrupting Shoal we could use to exile Vapor Snag and counter something as well, so we've got some options here. Leave with Delta, but has double Street Wraith into Mishra's Bauble, into Stomping Ground, into nothing. So not the fastest start from our opponent, which is nice. We're going to fetch up a Watery Grave to preserve our life total as much as possible. We draw the Narset, which isn't ideal. We obviously want to get our third land if we can, but it has Inquisition, which we're going to remand here, given our opponent doesn't have any potential follow-up. Find the Relic that we brought in, which I'm going to cast here. And get an exile. Oh, also these decks sometimes, it might not be running Delve creatures, but they also run Tarmogoyf from time to time as well, so both of those are things that could happen. And yeah, there we go. So there's a Tarmogoyf. So yeah, that's fairly good. The Relic is going to be able to do something about that. We're not drawing our third land, unfortunately, which is legitimately a problem. We play Swift Spear. We could have countered that with Disrupting Shoal, exiling the Vapor Snag, but we kind of want the Vapor Snag as well. Opponent's going to Inquisition, so I decided to get rid of that. But I think maybe, yeah. I dealt with that instead, but I don't know. Maybe we should have got rid of the Swift Spear instead, or maybe we should have just let the Inquisition happen. Or Vapor Snagged in response to keep the Vapor Snag around. Put the Tarmogoyf back into hand, because we can deal with the Swift Spear for now. But Tarmogoyf hitting us for 4 is going to be pretty brutal. Although, I suppose we've got this line available to us that we can exile the graveyard. Opponent's going to cycle a Street Wraith. Should have drawn a lot of Street Wraiths this game. Well, at least 2 games. Opponent cracks a Bloodstained Mire. And then Thought Seizes us, which is pretty bad news. I mean, we finally got our land, thankfully, but that's going to take Disrupting Shoal from our hand. Draw Snapback, which is nice, so we might be able to protect this Narset potentially. I'm actually not going to tick down the Narset on the basis that we might be able to keep it around. But unfortunately our opponent has Bloodbraid Elf, which is about as bad as it comes, so they can Lightning Bolt us and then attack with everything. I'm going to bounce the Tarmogoyf back to hand to take slightly less damage. We're still taking 5 here. Gonna see what's on top. We've got Tyrant Scorn. I think we need to Days Undoing here. And hope for the best. And yeah, unfortunately Days Undoing doesn't get us there. I'm gonna end up taking 4 here, I think. Yeah, so no, we take 5 because our opponent ended up drawing a Call Hands Command, and yeah, that's enough for lethal, which feels a bit unlucky, given that we made them shuffle their cards away and only draw 1 card, that they got a card that actually immediately kills us. Maybe we shouldn't have Days Undoing, maybe we should have kept our Tyrant Scorn up, and because we did have enough life available that we could have just kept going. So maybe that would have been the better play. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess this match was potentially closer than it looked probably, but maybe we misplayed a little bit here and there. But this matchup generally seems a bit rough. They're just really fast out of the gates and have fairly horrendous things that they can put onto the board, which deal a lot of damage very quickly. And that's kind of the worst thing for us, if they can hit us very fast and quickly, and also if Narset can't survive when we play it on turn 3. So Yeah, this seems like a really problematic matchup for us, and so it proved to be.